to be so filled with hate and bitterness and discontent. And I mean, I grew up with hate, so that's all I knew. And then I got in abusive relationships, which made me hate even more. And
I come from a dysfunctional family, typical dysfunctional family. My mom passed away. I never knew my father. I got into drugs really bad, meth, and it was just no hope. You know, it was an endless cycle of dread.
They brought me over to Aid House, and I was supposed to be on B Wing, but when I got to Rotunda, they said, you're not going, your bed's taken on B Wing, and the ladies in the back are putting you on C Wing. I said, isn't that the Christian wing? Well, the day I got here, I filled out a paper, and I had to wait to be accepted, and I was, and that's the best thing I've had happen to me.
I walked on this wing the first time for my interview, and I knew immediately, immediately felt the peace that surrounds this place. The closeness each of us share.
But this program did so much for me. It has taught me that my trials and tribulations, I used to think they were just to beat me down, you know. But now through them, I can start to see how it's refining me, you know. The Bible says in James, think it not strange when you go through fiery trials. And I don't anymore. I think, what am I needing to learn out here? What character trait am I trying to gain through this? So this program's taught me a lot, you know. And
I've learned so much. The classes that they teach and I didn't even realize it. It was like little by little, gradually, you know, I started feeling this weight just kind of lift off me, and I don't know, I just feel free. I'm at peace for once in my life, and
I prayed for this, not prayed to come to prison, but for, you know, another chance. And so I came here, and I got in this program, and it gives you so much hope. It lets you know that there's a God out there who really does care, you know, and it's amazing. You know, even though my mom's gone and I don't know my father, I feel love, you know. I want to go out there and I want to give other people the same hope. I want people to know, you know, what I know now, and it's that God loves you and He cares. And He's there for you, and He is concerned with the little details, you know, not just the big ones, not just, I don't know, He's concerned, and He loves, you know, He loves you. I want to tell people that because it's amazing. So yeah, that's it.
And so yes, I have my kids now, and I've slacked off on school for now because I have started my own business called Made Anew, and it's a cleaning business, and yeah, so that's been some big deal. And then here recently, I finally got approved to go into Shawnee County Correctional Facility because I now live in Topeka, Kansas, and so now I get to go into the jails there at Topeka. And even though I'm going in with a recovery group, NA, because that's a big support group also as well that I utilize. But going in with NA, I get to slip Jesus in there every once in a while. You know, my higher powers.
My relationships. I didn't have any really with my children. Now I was the absent mom, even though I was there in the household with them. And the boys and I now, we see each other once a week. I get to be with my grandson, who's my heart. And I'm getting married, something I always swore up and down I would never do again, and I'm grateful. My family has extended far and beyond blood, and that started with being in the program too, because my support system that I went from prison with started there, and I've been able to continue to keep that anchor with the people like you and others from the program, and that just started a ripple effect for the people that I'm involved with now.
Was the very first Christmas in 9 years that I got to spend with my family. I got to be there on Christmas Day with my kids. I got to be there on Christmas Day with my nieces that I had never gotten to spend Christmas with my sister. 9 years ago, for 8 years I stayed in my addiction and
no, my family didn't invite me for Christmas because there was so much chaos, and you never knew what you were going to get if you invited me. And this year it was great. I mean, we all sat around, we reminisced. There was no fighting, no arguing. My sister, as we gathered for dinner, asked me to lead us in prayer, you know, and it was a transformation. It was something completely, totally God-given.
You know, married almost 2 years. We got married a week after I got out. Been married almost 2 years, have an 8-month-old son. Our 15-year-old that was flunking out of 8th grade is now an AB honor roll in high school. You know, my career, I've actually got one. My goal, I've hired people straight out of Sigma House, which is a recovery center here in town. It's inpatient treatment. And I've got that good word of mouth. I have had people that I've hired on house arrest or whatnot, and their addiction was the same as mine, and they've started messing up, and I've been the one to call their PO. That's weird.
Beauty for Ashes has been there. I mean, there was a time when I relapsed, not only Beauty for Ashes, but Jesus with it. You know, that's one and the same. When last year when I had relapsed, and I had some people come up, you know, around me and just tell me that I needed help, you know, and then I had a church couple take my kids for 30 days while I got it into rehab. I thought my business is going to fall. What am I going to do, you know? Something that I had gotten myself into. I had gotten myself into every bit of that, and I deserved to be punished, you know? I deserved to lose my business, and but that's not the way that Jesus sees it, and that's not the way that my friends Beauty for Ashes came around me and told me, you know what? People mess up, and we're going to love you through this. I had members of the program and Gina herself carry my business for 30 days. Somebody had quote unquote adopted kind of like my kids for 30 days and got me through it, you know, got me rehabilitated to where I was able to, you know, get a grip and say, you know what, I'm not perfect, I'm gonna struggle, but that doesn't mean I have to use. And that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna leave me like, you know, they did in my childhood. And so it's a learning process for me. I've learned so much. I'm such a different person, and it's because of this ministry.